Next tonight, ITV is encouraging people to take time out to talk to one another to improve the nation's mental health. It's part of a campaign called Britain Get Talking, supported by charities Mind and Young Minds. And
as part of this campaign, we've joined a conversation at a primary school in Radstock where a Year 6 class have been hearing about the risks of social media. Here's Sangeeta Lal.
So suddenly it's getting some negative comments and people, or maybe you're being bullied online and you don't feel so good, and look what happens to your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. It goes down, yeah?
Teaching children about how social media can affect their mental health. This is one of the first sessions Dr Davies has run at St Vigar and St John's School in Radstock.
It's awful, isn't it, when you have an argument online and then it affects your friendships?
The aim, to make sure children keep talking about mental health. Today's class is focusing on how getting negative comments online can feel.
I feel like everyone really hates me and I feel like an outcast. I'd feel a bit depressed.
And you might feel depressed. Those are big words, aren't they, to feel depressed because someone doesn't like the photo?
I feel really ugly inside, like nobody really likes me.
According to one of the latest Ofcom reports, 45% of 12 to 15-year-olds who go online say in the past year they've seen something hateful on the internet, and 25% say they've been bullied, either face-to-face or on social media. It's something Dad Rob is constantly aware of and something he often speaks about with his 3 sons.
I think we have that conversation at home, and I think school do a good job of helping us with that as well. They will find things, and they probably will find things quicker than we will as parents. They have to feel it's okay to tell you if they're not sure about what they're finding.
One of his top priorities is knowing what online games his children are playing and helping them to manage the amount of time they spend.
On the weekend we use it a bit too long, and in the school days about right.
As well as managing time, back in Somerset, Dr Davies is trying to empower pupils to become more resilient to anything negative they may read online.
When you use it in the right way, you can make an impact in other people's feelings in a good way, but if you use it in the wrong way, they can think you're bullying.
For me, it's better just expressing how I feel to my parents, because it just holds me down and weighs me down and stuffs all on my chest, and then when I say it to my parents, they can give advice to me, and when I tell them the truth, and that it's just nice of them and they're really helpful with it.
The conversation about mental well-being has started here, and it's hoped this will continue to ripple across the country as part of ITV's campaign Britain Get Talking. Sangeeta Lal, ITV News.
And Dr Davies, who you saw in that report there by Sangeeta, has come into the studio to talk through this a little bit more. You have a special interest as a GP in sort of mental health within young people. You're part of this Papaya group, Parents Against Phone Addiction in Young Adolescents. That suggests sort of screen time is a big factor in all of this.
Yes, our main aim is to help parents and children get a good, positive balance with technology. So it's not about banning technology, just about saying how can we help children use it well so it impacts them in a positive way and not a negative way.
And I mean, we can look at some of the stats. 1 in 9 children have a diagnosed mental health problem. I mean, that's 3 or 4 children in kind of the average school class. That's a really worrying statistic, isn't it?
I think it is really worrying, and these stats are going up all the time. So I think we need to think really proactively about what we can do to help lower these numbers and help children who are in distress.
And I guess it's tough for parents, isn't it? Ellie and I both got kids, kind of school-age kids. You want them to be interacting, and of course they're going to go on screen time. That's the way things are today. Yeah. So you don't want to ban them, but you need to kind of monitor it as well, don't you?
I think it's a really tough balance. When I had my daughter 11 years ago, I never thought I would be facing the challenges of monitoring screen time and social media, but I am today. But I think for parents it is a constant battle and something to think about very carefully.
What kind of advice would you give to parents then who are maybe concerned about this?
Well, I think the first is not to panic. I think our children are happy and well and thriving, and we just need to be in relationship with them. But I've got sort of 4 top tips. So I'd say don't leave your screen time down to fate. So the F is about having a family media contract, which more than a set of rules, I think is about a set of values as a family. What do you love doing as a family? How do you want to invest your time? And to really focus on that. But equally thinking about what are your boundaries around screens, maybe not having them in the bedrooms. I talk about age-appropriate apps. So a lot of social media have an age limit of 13, and just if you can hold off to the age limit of apps, it can make a huge difference to the well-being of children. And then the T is for technology, thinking about what technological solutions there are. So putting downtime on your children's phone or setting screen limits. And the E is just for engaging in conversation and enjoying time together as a family. I think if you think about it and have some family rules, you can make a huge difference.
Yes, quite a lot to remember there. I think everyone's sort of trying to think of what the best approach is and just get there in. Thank you now, Susanna, for the advice. A lot of information to take in there. We'll leave it there for now. What we should say is Dr. Davis is actually going to be with us after the programme this evening. You'll be able to ask some questions during a Facebook Live if you've got any queries, you want any advice. And of course, if you've got any concerns about your mental health, we've got plenty of advice and information online. You can head to our website. It is itv.com/westcountry.